acquired by another, can the company retain its own identity? Right. And you can see that in the case of Body Shop, that even after an acquisition, Body Shop was able to retain its own identity. My question is, when does it happen? And how does it happen? Okay, so we'll first touch that area and then go into transmission of culture. Is that clear? Everyone is okay with that? Okay. Just a minute. Okay. Now, culture clash is a term which is used typically in mergers and acquisitions. Okay, and that is when two companies merge, or a company gets acquired by another. There can be a clash of cultures. Okay, because every company has a unique identity, so this sometimes the marriage between the companies can be very, very difficult. Right. So, like companies conduct something called as financial audit during a process of merger or acquisition. So, also many companies today are entering into a process of bicultural audit. Bicultural audit. Because, it has been of great concern that even though business wise a merger or acquisition made sense, but because the cultures of the uniting companies were so different, that the merger or acquisition was largely untenable and unsuccessful. That means, companies were like chalk and cheese or oil and water. It was very, very difficult to put them together. Now, bicultural audit has a process. Okay. Now, what is that process? There are 4 different strategies that companies employ to take care of culture clash or the collision of cultures. Okay. Now, you can see that a study conducted by Mercer on 700 international mergers during 96-98. This was, by the way, why you may say that, what is this? Yeah, we are able to read history. But I am giving you this history because 1996 to 2000 was a very important time for M&A activities. A lot of M&As happened during that time. But what was the fate of those mergers and acquisitions? Mercer concluded that nearly 700 international mergers were destroyed by shareholder values, or, they did not make sense culturally. There was too much of a clash for those companies to sustain for a longer period of time. So, bicultural audit today is not a luxury. It is a necessity for companies entering into these arrangements. So, how does this audit happen? And here is where I would like you to pay close attention. Why? Because all of this is written on the slide, but then if you make notes, it will be easier for you to attempt it in the exam should it come. Now, you have 4 processes. One is assimilation, one is integration, one is deculturation, and the 4th is separation. So let's take up each one after the other. Okay. Now, putting another slide here. Now let me go with the first one. Okay. Assimilation. Okay. Assimilation is a process of merging the identity of one company into another. Okay. Now, where does assimilation happen? It happens in the case of acquisitions. Okay. Now, typically, if a company has a dysfunctional, if a company has a weaker and dysfunctional functional culture, then it easily, I'm not saying easily, it relatively easily adapts to the culture of the acquiring company. Okay. So during the time of acquisition, if my culture is already weak, my culture is already dysfunctional, then I can relatively find it easier to adapt to the culture of the acquiring company. So if that happens, that means the acquired company willingly, without force, adapts and tries to adjust to the culture of the acquiring company, then that process is called as acculturation. Acculturation. Okay. Did you understand? Clear or not? Wherever, if you have any problems, please let me know, because all of this you need to take down. Okay? This is called as acculturation, and this is considered to be a better strategy in cases of bicultural audit because there is no force involved. And you find acculturation in evidence in a company called as RIM. RIM stands for Research in Motion. Have you heard of this company? This has produced one device which was extensively used at one point in time. And what was that device? You have Google, right? You have your phone. उसको use क्यों नहीं करते हो? हाँ? Google का use कब किया जा रहा है? हाँ,
BlackBerry mobile.
Yes. Yes. BlackBerry's was, the parent company that produced this device was RIM. RIM believed in the process of acculturation because as a unit, it was a bigger unit and it acquired mostly startup companies which were in the initial few years of their existence. So acculturation was a possibility. Okay. Now the other is, what happens if the acquired company is unwilling to accept the culture or identify with the culture of the acquiring company. There is where the problem starts. Okay, if the acquired company is unwilling to accept the culture or identity of the acquiring company, then that is a big problem. And that process is called as deculturation. Okay, meaning that there is a force, or we use the word coercion. Okay, coercion from the acquiring company to the acquired company that you identify with our culture, or else. You understand? Or else what? Okay. Now, deculturation is considered to be one of the most untenable and short-run strategies in bicultural audit, and it should not be the first resort of the acquiring company, but the last resort, that if nothing else is working, then deculturation is what you can take place. Now, deculturation was seen in the Indian case. I think one of the best examples of deculturation that can be given was the Satyam case. Satyam, after its, troubles, whatever was the extent of corporate fraud, which was, what was unearthed in Raju's organization, Satyam was taken over by Mahindra. For a longer period of time, it was called as Mahindra Satyam and then became Tech Mahindra. Okay. So, that transition that happened from Mahindra Satyam to Tech Mahindra was very, very difficult for the company, because Satyam had a very different culture from what you could find at Mahindra. It was very non-traditional, non-hierarchical, was a firm culture basically, but Mahindra was much more rigid, much more traditional, and very much like an older generation company. And Mahindra was clear in its directive that they don't want the prevailing culture of Satyam to continue in the new unit. So they wanted Satyam people to identify with Mahindra's dominant culture. Okay, so which was not possible also, because people at Satyam were still very, very devoted to Raju, and it was difficult for them to identify with another culture. Okay, so at that point in time, many senior people who had already worked with Satyam for more than a period of 10 to 15 years were asked to resign, or were made to resign, but you have to leave the organization now. So that process is called as deculturation. But both of these, acculturation and deculturation, come under the broader category of assimilation. Did you understand? So what is the meaning of assimilation? Assimilation is merging the identity of one company into another. And this is something that you would normally find during acquisitions. Now, this can happen in two ways. One is assimilation, one is acculturation, and the other is deculturation. Now let's look at what happens in mergers. Okay. That process is called as Integration. So what is the meaning of this? That you take the best of both the cultures, that is the cultures of the merging company, create a separate entity. So this is integration. That means you want a separate new entity. So supposing, let us say, I have, just a minute, I have A and B, company A and company B, which are merging together. What do? They try and create a new entity called C. So some values from A, some values from B, and then you integrate into a new unit called C. If this happens, remember, if this happens, the merger is successful, like you find in the case of Exxon and Mobil. But many a times integration is very difficult to achieve, and that's the place where mergers fall apart, okay? Because it is difficult for the companies to stay together, okay? So did you understand the difference between assimilation and integration? Assimilation is where you are willingly surrendering or unwillingly surrendering your identity to another company. Integration is where you take some values from the merging companies and you create a separate entity. Okay. Now, apart from assimilation and integration, there is another thing which is called as separation. And this is where the Body Shop case comes in. What is the meaning of separation? Separation, and when does separation happen? Separation happens when both the companies have an equally strong identity. Both the companies, okay, whether it is the merging companies or it is the acquiring companies. Basically, separation is possible or happens during acquisitions, okay. Now, acquisitions may, like I said, assimilation also happens during acquisitions, but acquisition में separation भी हो सकता है. And कहाँ पे separation होता है? जहाँ पे even if I'm acquiring a company that company has a unique cultural identity which can also be stronger than the cultural identity of the acquiring company. Okay, so in the case of L'Oreal and Body Shop, what did you find? Was it assimilation or separation?
Separation.
Separation. Okay, for business reasons. See, sometimes क्या होता है ना, if you assimilate a company like Body Shop, then what are you doing? You are destroying the identity of this age-old company, and it will not even make business sense to you. Business sense का मतलब आप समझ रहे हो ना? A company has a unique positioning in the mind of a consumer, और अगर वो positioning बहुत strong है, company is still doing business, company is successful, उसको तोड़ के आपको क्या मिलेगा? That is the question, okay? So business wise also it is not making any sense. So there is where companies decide to be separate from one another, even if the overall holdings are the same. Okay, so bicultural audit is also a very, very stringent process. That is a part of mergers and acquisitions, and you can see that in the case. So supposing you have been given a caselet where you are asked to identify that what are the processes of audit that you see, I think you should be able to do that well. Okay, so I hope you understood the three broad strategies that we are talking about, which is assimilation in two parts. One is A and one is deculturation, then coming to integration, and the last, which is separation. Okay, so now that we have completely closed the Body Shop case, let's move ahead with transmission of culture.
Ma'am,
हाँ बोलो.
Ma'am, in the acculturation, the Research in Motion company is an acquiring company, or it was just acquired company?
When in once again?
Ma'am, I was asking that in acculturation, the Research in Motion company was the acquiring company, or it was acquired by
It
someone?
was the acquiring company. It was acquiring company, not acquired. Okay, that is why I said that if you are a crocodile, okay, and you are eating a little fish, तो fish क्या करेगा? In order to survive, that fish will have to identify with the crocodile. Okay, even if the fish and the crocodile are very different. I'm not saying that Rim is a crocodile, but what I'm trying to say is look at the size. If the size of the company, the prominence of the company is such that it is acquiring a small unit, then the small unit also may willingly assimilate into the larger fabric of RIM. And that was their, strategy, that those are the kind of companies they would want to acquire, right? Or startup companies may, we will read that at the end of the chapter also. Startup companies में ये भी चीज है कि because the company is still in the growing phase, it is still, it has not, covered many years of existence. Basically, it is still in infancy or adolescence. Changes can happen. अगर वही कंपनी मैच्योरिटी को चला जाता है, चेंजेस कैन बी डिफिकल्ट. ठीक है? Just a minute, give me 1 second. Let me just charge my laptop and we'll start. Yeah. So now there are 5 major mechanisms through which culture can get transmitted in any organization. So what are they? You have socialization, you have rituals, you have stories, you have language, and you have symbols. Okay. Now let us start with the first one, which is socialization. Now, even before I start with socialization, what do you think is the meaning of this word? Yeah. Tell me.
In general terms, we can say socialization means getting along with people we come across.
Getting along with people. Okay.
Means
What
basically
else?
getting meeting up with the rival companies or organizations in that sense. Man.
Okay. Any other ideas here? Other people? What does socialization mean? अच्छा ठीक है. Okay. Now, such a big slide, so many things are there, so our head is aching, isn't it? All of this is happening now. So now let us decode whatever is there on this slide and make it a little more easy. Now, in OB, have you heard of one word called conditioning? Have you heard of this word? Conditioning. Just a minute. Have you taken a vow of silence? Huh? कि हम लोग कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे, बस एवरीथिंग हैज गॉट टू बी स्विच्ड ऑफ ऑल द टाइम. ये कितना दिन तक ये स्ट्रैटेजी आप करोगे यार? कुछ और भी मेरे को दिखाओ. हाँ, दैट मैडम टुडे वी आर इन अ डिफरेंट मूड, वी वांट टू डू समथिंग दैट इज डिफरेंट. मुझे भी देखने को अच्छा लगेगा. कईयों के वॉइसेस आई हैव नेवर हर्ड एंड आई डोंट थिंक आई विल एवर गेट द चांस टू हियर. इट्स नॉट अ ग्रेट लॉस टू मी, बट आई डोंट नो व्हाट इट इज टू यू. ये आपको सोचना चाहिए. कल को जॉब के लिए मैं नहीं बैठूंगी. And all of this, whatever I'm teaching you, that is not going to put me at a different level. No. It is a routine activity for me. But is it a routine activity for you, attending classes? अगर routine activity हो गया है, तो मुझे नहीं मालूम मुझे क्या बोलना चाहिए. Okay? Rest all is understood by now. You have to only understand one thing, that what is your reality. How many of you are competing with one another and how soon should you be getting a job in the current climate that we have? ये आपका reality है. ये आपको decide करना चाहिए. So if you are silent here when I'm prompting and asking you time and again, कि what is your view? Have you heard a particular thing? मैं नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि you tell me that you have heard it. नहीं hear किया है तो हम उसके बारे में discuss करेंगे. And you know what is the meaning of discussion in the class, no? One person talking and the others choosing to listen or not to listen. तो वही तो होगा. उतना भी आप नहीं बोल सकते. Anyways, I have got no clue what is happening at your end. I'm totally clueless for the first time in my life, and I don't think I like that very much. Okay, but that's all right. Now, conditioning is a process which tells that a person can be made to learn a particular thing in a particular way. Okay, so supposing in an organization, let us say there is a punishment. Okay, we do understand what is the meaning of punishment, do we not? Would we repeat things for which we know that we will be punished in the organization? Answer is no, we will not do that. We will not show that deviant behavior because we know what the consequence of this behavior will be. Okay, so ये कैसे होता है? This process is called as conditioning. Okay, now conditioning is of so many different types. Now, one kind of conditioning is classical conditioning, which was shown in the Pavlovian experiments. The other is the behavioral reinforcements, which was talked of by behavioral psychologists. That if you give reinforcement to a person which is positive, you can expect positive behavior. Negative reinforcement doge, so out of fear, people will display the behavior that you want. Okay, but then यहाँ पे हम लोग कंडीशनिंग के बारे में क्यों बात कर रहे हैं? सोशलाइजेशन इज एक्चुअली अ प्रोसेस ऑफ कंडीशनिंग. ओके, दैट व्हेनेवर you are entering a organization for the first time, you're not going to be let alone to do whatever you want to do. Okay, and you are also not expecting that. What do you expect when you join an organization? तुमको लगता है कि तुम्हें ओरिएंटेशन में होना चाहिए, तुम्हें लगता है somebody should come and tell you what to do. ये है कि नहीं? This expectation is there in the mind or not? Yeah, you just want to be left on your own. Answer is no. You want that, yes, there should be a path which tells you that this is what you are expected to do in the organization. कल को जब SIP में भी जाओगे तब भी यही बोलोगे कि मेरे को तो कोई कुछ बोल ही नहीं रहा है. I'm not getting my project. I'm totally clueless about what I should be doing. So you expect that there should be some kind of learning or some kind of guidance that is there in the organization, and this guidance is called as socialization. Okay, now socialization, so did you understand what is the meaning of socialization? Socialization is a term which is used by sociologists, that in every society every child gets socialized in a particular manner. Okay, I'm giving you a very small example, ekdam crude hai, but it will tell you what the meaning of this word is. Okay, now when my daughter was very little meaning she was 4 or 5 years old, I used to tell her that, when you see people who are as old as your mother, you should be, telling them namaste. Okay. Baki, agar chota hai koi, to usko chota, she has to understand what is the meaning of small. Chota meaning, so I had taken my example that anyone who's younger than your mother, you can tell hi. And if anyone who's your mother's age or older than your mother, you have to tell namaste. Okay. When she was small, it was all right. 3, 4, 5 years of age, it was all right. She would do what I told her to do. But gradually, when she became older and older, she used to always say that, why is this divide there? That why should I tell hi to this person and why should I say namaste to that person? And you see, what I'm trying to say is that even your parents have told you this, have they not? अपने आप से कोई कुछ सीख के नहीं आता, right? There is a certain way in which you have to behave when older people come to your house. There is a certain way in which you behave when relatives come to your house, when friends come to your house, when boss comes to your house. ये जो behavior है, ये आप कहाँ से सीखते हैं? हाँ, अपने बचपन से, birth से कोई सीख के आता है. I think the child is the most natural person in the whole world. No artifice is there. It is only when the person starts growing, सारे कुछ चीजें सिखाए जाते हैं कि ये अच्छा है, ये करो. And what is the meaning of that अच्छा? Because I have also been told that by my mother. My mother has also been told that by her mother. So it's like a generation which comes down. That process is called as socialization. तो आपको ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि this only is limited to individual level. This also happens in every organization. No? When you are getting into an organization, organizations are very worried कि अरे इसको छोड़ देंगे क्या? This fellow will do whatever he or she wants, and are we going to give money for whatever he or she is doing? No, there is a certain way in which you have to approach. So that approach process is called as socialization. And this socialization is of two types. One is institutional and one is individual. What is the meaning of institutional? Institutional is one to many. ठीक है? It's not a one-on-one process. It's one to many, which normally happens in what you can tell a classroom. And what is individual? Individual is one-on-one. And there are places where institutional happens and there are places where individual happens. ये देखो, this is called as institutional role orientation or institutional socialization, right? So whenever you have, let us say, orientation training, okay? Orientation training is an example of what? Institutional or individual?
One to many, institutional.
Very good. It is one to many. It is institutional role. और ये जो आपको placement training अभी दिया जा रहा है ना, right? So what is that? That is institutional or that is individual?
Institutional.
That is institutional. But on the other hand, supposing your mentor is taking your PI, what is that? That is institutional or individual?
Individual.
Individual. Okay. So whenever you are sitting for a orientation training, that is called as institutional role orientation. You'll find that there are some companies which may have a probation period of nearly 1 year. 1 year. That means that kind of institutional socialization process they have. On the other hand, let us say you've already worked with a company for 5 years and now you're making a change to another company. You're going to be put into a orientation training, okay? It's going to be more of a on-the-job training, which is an individual kind of a socialization, one-on-one, okay? So it's not going to be one to many. So both forms of socialization are present in the organization, and that is one of the first mechanisms to transmit what an organization wants out of you. So for example, every individual, when they get into an organization, they are, they're finding their foot कि इस organization को क्या चाहिए, यहाँ पे मुझे क्या करना चाहिए, and you are also trying to understand whether you would fit with the organization or not. उसी time में socialization होता है, and this can be of two types, like I told you. Okay, so let's move now. And what are all these? Actually, ठीक है. Since we are showing you this slide, what is all this? Now, institutional role orientation or socialization can take these forms. Okay, so let us take a look at them. The first is called as collective. And what is the meaning? It is a common learning experience to produce a standard response. Okay, like a classroom. It is a common learning experience. उसमें हमको variety of responses नहीं चाहिए. उसमें हमें एक ही response चाहिए, which we want. Okay. Now, example is indoctrination of newcomers into their roles during their orientation training. Then, what is the next? Next is formal. Formal का क्या मतलब होता है? Formal is the segregation of newcomers. Okay. Segregation of newcomers कैसे होता है? आपको पता है ना? That, people, employees who are on probation are different from employees who are permanent employees of the firm. कभी-कभी probation time में आपको जो salary मिलता है, वो भी different होता है. Many companies will tell you that during the time of probation, we will pay you this. Once you complete your probation, we will pay you this. So there is a difference between a probate and a permanent employee. Okay. Then comes the next, that is sequential. What is the meaning of sequential? Sequential is like a timetable. Okay. Every orientation program in institutional socialization is completely time bound here. Every day what should be done, what are the classes, कैसे होगा, कब exams होगा, every timetable is there. Then the next is also very linked with sequential, that is fixed. There is a timetable of the training process. What is the meaning of serial? After sequential and fixed, what is the meaning of serial? Serial means organizational models serve as role models. So ये जो आपको training दिया जाता है ना, let us say, you are at McDonald's, okay? McDonald's में Ray Kroc would be used as the role model because he is the great founder, okay? You are at the Tata Group. JRD is one of the legendary role models even today in the Tata Group of companies. So they will become your role models. It's not everyone becoming your role models. And Diverse teacher. What is the meaning of diverse teacher? Diverse teacher is negative in connotation, but what does it mean? It means that largely newcomers receive negative social support. Negative social support meaning till the time you are not able to adapt to the company's culture, you will not be able to get great support from the company. Okay. So clear message goes to you that adapt or leave. We don't want people who are going to fight against the dominant culture. Okay. And ये जो चीज है ना, ये आपको दिखाई देगा in MBA schools also. Okay. Now in MBA colleges, yeah, this is a very interesting thing that I experienced when I went I was hardly a part of the induction program because we were anyways PhD students, but then we were watching what they were doing with the newcomers, okay, the first year MBA students. उनका एक induction होता है, very interesting induction, in which the faculty members play no role. That induction is completely done by the seniors for the juniors, okay. So in those 7 days, these people are given the worst kind of trial in their life, okay. They are running from pillar to post, giving all sorts of quizzes, attending all sorts of lectures. And on the last day, where the induction is over, they have a big, huge party. But till that party day, everything is bad for the poor guys who have just entered into the, college. So during that time, I still remember that because MDI has so many different programs, one program was called as National Management Program, and that would have people with minimum of 10 years of job experience. So, they looked old and they also look like teachers for most part. और ये जो नए बच्चे आए हैं, ये किसी को नहीं जानते. So one of those guys was roped in and he, called for a quiz at 12 o'clock in the night. That was very common there. But it was not common to the people who had just entered into the institute. Yeah, most of them were completely tired. And when the announcement went that, assemble in so and so room and that there is a quiz, people were almost on the verge of tears. They're saying that what have we done here? I don't know what is a bigger nightmare, coming to this place or, sustaining here for 2 years. यही अगर हम करेंगे 2 साल तक, how are we going to live here? Okay. So it was terrible, those 7 days, and that is called as diverse teacher, that you adapt or you leave. There is no room for anything in between. And that is true with all of these colleges, If you are not able to adapt there, if you challenge everything there, you will be made to leave. You will leave because you will have no friends, you will have no groups, you will learn nothing and you will fail. ये जो sequence है, ये 100% ट्रू होता है. ये वही 1 या 2% स्टूडेंट्स का हाल होता है who are not able to adapt and they know that their time in these places is very short. Even if they continue 2 years, they will not get a good placement. ये उन्हें मालूम. So that is called as diverse teacher. Now we are not saying whether this is good or bad. I'm only telling you what happens in institutional role orientation. Now let's look at individual. Individual is also very interesting. Now, individual, maybe first is that there is no formal training. It is a one-on-one. So like I said, orientation is what you would find in institutional role, socialization. On the job training or OJT is what you would find in individual role orientation. Informal, meaning newcomers are socialized on the job. Then random, training will suit the needs of the individual. Training has no fixed timetable. Training is variable. Whatever time suits the people, that is how training is done. Now, after random and variable, what is the meaning of disjunctive? Disjunctive is a very interesting thing. Individuals figure out their own behavior. There's no organizational role model. So Google follows a disjunctive behavior. You follow your own role models here. You follow your own behavior. You know what the values of the company are and you model yourself accordingly. What is the meaning of invest teacher? Very different from diverse teacher. Newcomers receive positive social support. Nobody tells you that do or die. Okay. So that's the difference between individual and institutional role orientation. Both are found in companies. Okay. Now, moving on, just a minute. Let me take you to just a minute. Okay. Now we'll do the stories and then we will stop. Now, like I said, I think I may have started this in the previous class. Now, after socialization, more powerful mechanisms of transferring culture are to be found in stories. And like I said, stories can be of three types. What are those three types? The first is narratives. The second is called as legends. And the third is called as myths. ये तीनों में डिफरेंस क्या है?
Ma'am, narrative give facts.
Okay, very good.
Ma'am, legends
legends
are
are role models.
And
And
myths are factless and fiction.
Myths are
Fiction
more fiction and less of facts. Okay, so if you are looking at the kind of narratives which make up stories, there are hundreds of stories, and please remember, narratives put all facts in the form of a story. So there's no fiction associated with it. So if you are looking at the Pixar Steve Jobs relationship, there is a narrative associated with it. That, you know, in Pixar, they would say that, you know, for the first time, computer animated movies were called as the movie, whether you would be able to launch the movie or not. Okay, so what was the relationship of this company with Steve Jobs? It was a very, very rocky relationship because, you know, Steve Jobs was also extremely micromanaged where, you know, his ideas were concerned. So there is a narrative around that story, but that is based on facts. Legends are role models who are incomparable in the world business. Okay, so there are hundreds of legends in every company. If you're looking at Anita Roddick, you're looking at Indra Nooyi, you're looking at Ray Kroc, you're looking at Narayan Murthy, J.R.D. Tata, Ratan Tata, all of them are legendary characters. Okay, so if you have stories about them, they take the shape of legends. But the most interesting in all of this is the myth. Because who is interested in facts anyways? We are all interested in fiction. ठीक है ना? Like for the, you know, if we are to take the example of the recent release, RRR, okay? The two characters, by the way, they are not fiction. It might have been written as a disclaimer, but they were there definitely as freedom fighters. But if you look at the movie, you know, they were not portrayed as simple freedom fighters. They were portrayed as gods who could do everything. Yeah, gravity-defying shots, you know, tremendous amount of muscle power, action sequence. क्या नहीं था उसमें? The grandeur at which these two people were shown, you know, that is what caught the eye. So no one is interested in facts, and that is the truth of the matter. So if you are able to present the basic skeleton of facts in the form of fiction, that is more eye-catching, and that story stays with people for decades together, and that is called as a myth. Okay? So to give you examples, these were the examples that I had taken. The best example, of course, is the third one, where you have a narrative to Chanel number 5, and you also have a myth to Chanel number 5. It is your duty to find out what the narrative was and what the myth was. Narrative is fact, not very interesting, little bit boring. And the fiction was the myth. Okay, so you can find out these are examples of stories which become very important, very interesting in organizations, right? Now let's move on. The next is symbols. I wanted to tell you that. Why? Because you have never once spoken about this. Okay, the logos that companies use, okay, those logos have some meaning, and these logos are meant to symbolize the identity of companies. If you look at these logos, you don't have to have the name of the company. No, you know where and what this logo represents, what this logo represents. You are well aware what this represents. Okay. So if you are looking at the swastika was the symbol of the Nazis, okay, of Hitler's Germany, right? And he had very, very carefully used this symbol to signify the superiority of the Aryan race, okay? Now, swastika has a very different meaning for us, okay? But then that's not how it was used by him. Now, I want you to find the story behind this logo. There's a story behind this logo, okay? What does this mean? Okay, it is called as a swish. It is not called as correct. Okay. It is called as swish, which signifies movement. Okay. So what is the story behind this logo? These are called as symbols. And the most powerful symbol of a company is the logo that the company uses. And this is a part of the cultural identity, cultural heritage of the company, right? So we will stop here and we'll take the other mechanisms in the next class and finish. So, and we'll give a chance to the group to present. Ashish, can you please start? I'll just enable the share screen. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. Just